take a look at Otavio Sousa versus Matheus Diniz. Two other competitors we haven't seen a whole lot of this year. Just kind of getting back into being active. We saw Matheus Diniz on a Who's #1. We saw Otavio recently fight at the Grand Prix in Las Vegas. But other than that, these guys have not been too active in the last 2 years with COVID and everything kind of shutting things down. Not their normal circuit, but now back in action for the World Championships at the medium heavy division. And I think both of them have bounced between middle and medium heavy. I know definitely Otavio has.
Yeah.
But very, very strong for this division, right?
Yeah.
Interesting to see Matheus has both of his ankles taped up. It's an interesting tactic. Whenever you see that, you got to wonder if both ankles are hurt or if one is hurt, but we tape both so their opponent doesn't
disguise.
know. That's right. Beautiful guard pull from Matheus Diniz. And immediately into some big cross-collar pressure from Otavio. Look how he turns the face just with his forearm. He has been up training with Professor Hamalu Bahal in GB Northridge, right? So not surprising to see some cross-collar grip and half guard.
That's a knee cut specialist.
Little knee cut to the cross-collar, but that lapel that Matheus Diniz has is really saving Otavio's right knee from crossing the other side and brings him up to a single almost, but he will go out of bounds here with that single leg grip. Right, whenever I see people taped up, I always have that question. Because sometimes I have to double tape my ankles, right? It happens. I've done it many times. All right, so back on the feet here. Interesting to see if Diniz will pull again. We see Otavio play on top and bottom both very well, but I think definitely one of his specialties is his sit-up guard from the bottom. He plays a beautiful sit-up guard into like some doubles that he comes up on, singles, or just like the simple sit-up guard sweeps with the collar where he'll drive your head to the mat by pulling that collar down. So I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls too. Again, the winner of this is going to fight Leandro Lo, so it's not a fight you want to go into exhausted.
No,
right,
exactly.
But at the same time, you don't get that fight unless you win this one. So
correct.
Got to give everything you have, whatever it asks of you. Interesting, snap for Diniz. Did a little snap down there, went right out of bounds. See Lucas Valenche in the background here coaching Otavio. He had a really dominant first round win. The women did get started over there on mat 4. We have Maria Maljacek here in the quarterfinals of the heavyweight division facing Larissa Diaz. Very good match. We'll stay here for Otavio and Matheus Diniz. 7.5 minutes left. Interesting that, Diniz had a quick pull. Maybe felt a lot of that cross-collar knee slide pressure and was like, I'm happy to try my luck on top.
Yeah, it looks like he was going to go for a sweep single to me, Diniz. It looks like his grip is warranting some sort of single because he's got the back leg with the left hand on the collar. He's got that back leg turn. That looks means he wants to pull his right side forward.
Right.
Because that's typically not necessarily a very good idea to have your collar hand your back leg because of the reason why Otavio is snapping him down so much. It's you're off balance a little bit, but
yeah, it leaves his left side unsupported.
That's right. And so there, see that.
Right,
yeah, that's what I was wondering,
single.
but.
Yeah, but Otavio, I mean, just such a beautiful stance, great awareness of the
absolutely.
Of the sprawling, and that's really what we want to see on the feet. If you're defending shots, your first line of defense is your hands, right? Someone should be able to get past your hands. Then the next line of defense is your forearms. You can kind of like use your forearms as a block. The next is going to be your head, right? They shouldn't be able to get past your head, okay? And then after that, it comes the hip. So if you can avoid having to sprawl and have someone in on your leg altogether, you're going to be in better shape. That's what you see from Otavio here. But still with the same strong grip Matheus has. So the same position, left hand high on the collar, right leg lead. So you might still be looking for that single. But if you notice, Otavio has a very square stance here and almost protecting that left leg a little bit. So he feels that coming, and he actually has a collar grip on the same side. So a lot of times what we see, nice snap down attempt from Matheus. A lot of times what we see is if we have two right-handed people, for example, the cross grips, or the collar grips are across from each other, but here we have a same side battle. With Otavio using his right and then Matheus using his left. Otavio Sousa in the Gracie Ball gi with the red shield on the back. Matheus Diniz with the gold patching on his white gi. And 5:40 left. So these gentlemen have been on the feet for over 4 minutes, or I'm sorry, over I think about 2 minutes since they reset back from the guard exchanges. And both looking like they're definitely wanting to be in the top position, right?
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Almost spoke too soon, right?
No,
Otavio, big pull to close guard. Now Otavio has a very good muscle sweep transition from this position. So he'll go muscle sweeps, he'll go omoplatas and triangles from here. He will cross the arm across and go to the back. Very strong close guard. And then when the guard does go open, he'll typically go to his sit-up guard that he plays from a lot. So Matheus having the smart strategy here by pinching his knees together. Makes it, virtually impossible to go for the muscle sweep if the knees are internally rotated like that, because you do need the knee to open to get the muscle sweep going.
Yeah, and he's also got that sleeve as well.
Yeah, he's saving himself with that sleeve right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Matheus lets his arm get dragged across, he's going to be in trouble. Yep. So he's using his right hand to hold onto the sleeve so that Otavio can't bring the sleeve across this way.
Now he's up and got the legs underneath the hips, so it'll be a little bit more work for Otavio to get down and under the legs.
Yeah, so now we're right into the open guard here.
Yep.
Using that left leg on the shoulder to try to just create a little bit of space to set up the guard that he's looking for. He'll put the right foot on the hip for the same reason, right? So it just creates enough space with this like shallow lasso position where the foot's on the shoulder on the left, on the hip on the right, and allows for transitions to De La Riva, just like we're about to see. But Matheus did a great job of closing his butt to his heel so that Otavio's left foot couldn't get behind the hamstring. So you have to go back to the close guard instead of the De La Riva. And still nothing on the board, right? Only 4 minutes left. Nothing on the board just yet. Again, with that beautiful control of the sleeve grip, right? That sleeve grip is very, very dangerous because not only does it control Matheus' hand to not be able to open the guard, but it starts to rotate his posture. And once his shoulder starts to come across, it opens up the back. It opens up that muscle sweep if he stands up. And it just makes it really dangerous for Matheus to stand up, right? It's hard for him to open the guard and his sleeves being controlled. It doesn't feel safe.
Yeah, you get your arm dragged across body. It's not good.
Right.
You're getting underneath the leg, trying to get underneath. Matheus has so much experience, though. It's very, very good here. So.
Yeah, it's very calculated, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're not seeing a bunch of big explosive movements just yet from him. He's not standing up and getting desperate to pass because of that sleeve grip. The timing is not quite right. In the women's division, we saw a big win for Maria Maljacek over Larissa Diaz in the quarterfinals. And semifinals for the women's heavy is coming up with Melissa Stricker versus Maggie Grandati. So we'll see that over on mat 4. Some of the other women's divisions are getting started now here as well. We're going to have on mat 2, Rita Lynn out of Gracie Humaida versus Anna Rodriguez in the quarterfinals out of Dream Art, out of the light feather black belt women on mat 2. And then we will have an opening round of the black belt super heavy with Lucas Nora out of Gracie Baja versus Devontae Johnson on mat 1. So big names coming out, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be jumping around quite a lot. We got 2 minutes left in this fight with Matheus Diniz versus Otavio Sousa. And if you have recently joined us, the winner of this is going to jump in with Leandro Lowe in the quarterfinals next round, which is a crazy quarterfinals. And this is a crazy elimination too.
I know, it's
wild.
But both guys are really trying to work to set their things up here. Oh, that's that nice little collar choke there for Diniz to try to make it easier for him to stand up. A good tactic to use when you have a very dangerous guard.
Yeah,
lets you get up. And
yeah, next on this mat, we also have the opening match to the women's featherweight division. We have Alexa Yanez versus Air Shirley from Checkmat. And then also an opening match of the black belt middleweight division on mat 6. We'll have Elizabeth Excel versus Alessandra Moss, followed by Vanessa Griffin and Raquel Canuto, which is a huge quarterfinal match in the middleweight division. That's very, very exciting. And here we see almost an entry to the muscle sweep that Otavio loves so much. But Matheus right back down to his knees, probably a smart move to avoid that sweep.
yeah, Otavio's really picking up the activity anyway here. starting to move from side to side more, trying to break the grips more. So there it is. There's an off balance from.
Yeah, and right now we have to be thinking about what happens if we go to decision.
That's right.
Right? 30 seconds left. Oh, we need to make sure this is not an illegal grip. That would have been a really, really unfortunate way to lose via penalty if those fingers were inside the pants there. Yeah, with 25 seconds left, we got to be considering what's going to happen with the referee's decision, and I think it's fair to say Otavio has been the driver of this fight so far. Especially
lately here at the end.
Right. But frustrating for Matheus too. I know he's looking to pass. I know he's being very active here. With 10 seconds left. Oh wow!
This will make a big difference right here.
That was quite the split second reaction.
There it is. Omoplata. That'll be the deciding factor right there for sure.
That was the deciding factor right there. That was very, very impressive. Last minute to secure the victory. It almost looked to me like Matheus saw there were a couple seconds left, was settling into the idea that the match was over, and Otavio was just going to run straight through. Wow. But the 3 referees decide. Not surprising, 3 out of 3 for Otavio Sousa. Probably thanks to that last-minute exchange that we had in the final seconds of the match. So he will face Leandro Lo in the quarterfinals of this medium-heavy division in a little while. But right now, we're going to go to mat 5, and we will catch